Hello everyone, welcome back. Uh, so I know few people have already left this video after seeing the whole uh, length, but still, today I need you to stay till the end because today in this video we have a lot to cover. I will not give any spoiler, but as you can see, it's really a lot I have written. I will not give any spoiler, but I will. This is more like a summarization of the second hypothesis, but in more detail, and I will correct each and everything which might have been any confusion or doubts, anything, without any just talking. Let's just directly start this video because I am just so excited. Okay, so let's just do it. Okay. Yeah. So, uh, what I have first given is a visual representation of the dent implantation. Like previously, we know that how do dents get implanted in us is that we have this restlessness, which I am denoting by this, let's say, dot. I am denoting this restlessness by some dot. You can denote it by some X or something. I'm just denoting it by a dot because it's more easy to show. Let's say this is something, that thing in you which is always restless, always like it's always looking for completion, right? So what it does, it feels that okay, this thing would give me completion, and hence I will let it hammer me. And the hammer is again obviously now the external stimuli is there, so obviously the external whatever the thought would affect you and you would hammer that end finally. So how does that actually happen, right? So visual representation of the dent implantation. Okay, step one, I have broken it into steps, right? So first, the first step is to finding the target. Your restlessness finds a target, right? Like anything, it can be any object or anything. And the second step is to find the most hopeful thing and feed on it. Now, you will find many things. So let's say mm, uh, you have two things. Maybe you can either eat a tasty food, or maybe you can either go out with your friends and enjoy. uh, which one you will choose, that's completely dependent upon the dents, but basically, which is the more bigger dent, and which thing you think will provide more hope is this one which is bigger, right? So you think as this dent is bigger, so if I fulfill it, then I would get greater pleasure, not peace. Okay, hence what you do is to you find the hopeful thing and feed on it. So uh, let me give a small example. Today, I just came home after giving my examination, right? So I finished my examination. So it was a 3 hour examination, right? So I finished my examination, 10 minutes before, 10, 15 minutes before the bell rang, right? So we have to just sit until the examination is over after 3 hours and the copies are collected, right? So of course, I could not just leave the examination hall, and all I had was in front of me my pencil box I had, and may and my pencil and all. Finished writing, so I was just sitting. Uh, what happened was, my obviously I am restless. My restlessness got the better of me, and what I just did was, let's say here is the table and here is my pencil box, so I just kept on like pressing the pencil box, like I was basically moving the pencil box. Why? Because I had nothing else to do, because I'm restless, right? How can I stay calm? Because I'm restless. If I am restless, I cannot stay calm because I'm not complete, I'm not peaceful. So that's why what I'm doing is that I am continuously moving the pencil box. Like currently, let's say this is my pen. If I'm restless, then what I will do? I will just flicker it like this, and do like this, and some movements and stuff. Because if I were perfectly complete, if I, and let's say I'm put in a dark room and I only have this pen, I will not just I will not just hold it like this. I will try all kinds of movements, and all this, whatever the pen spinning or whatever. Why do we do that? Because that's the most hopeful thing we have. Now, if in the exam hall, or let's say in the exam hall, you had another question to write. So obviously, you would not be playing with your pencil box, right? Why? Because then again, the dent. Let's say your respect and teachers and school dent is larger than this pencil box moving dent, right? So of course, it's generally that, because I don't think people move pencil box nowadays for fun. But anyways, as you can see, it happened. Like, it was the most hopeful thing I could find. Maybe I thought that, okay, maybe this I might not consciously think that, okay, this thing will give me pleasure, but my actions suggest the otherwise, that okay, why am I doing it? I'm doing because I think I will get some, peace, or some, just time will pass. Again, that restlessness. So that's the step one: find the target. So if there are multiple targets, you will either feed on multiple of them. Like, you can scroll through your phone while eating. Eating also, you're satisfying your dent, and while scrolling also, you're satisfying your dent, right? Or what you do is, you find the most hopeful thing and feed on it. So currently, of course, I could not, in examination, I cannot take out my phone and just start scrolling reels on it, because there are restrictions on me. And where are these restrictions coming from? This also I have explained in today's video, right? So in the a bit little, later part. But anyway, so that is step two. All I found was my pencil box in front of him, because I had my question paper. If more time was given, I might have been even started playing with my question paper. But fortunately, 10-15 minutes was left. So all I had got the time was, I know it did not give me any so-called joy, but that was the only thing I had, and so that's why I was doing it. So I've just briefly represented here. Okay, that this is the world. You see the world, and after that, there is input in your brain through electronic signals. And yeah, as I mentioned, I have denoted the restlessness by a dot. So this is your restlessness. Okay, any, like it, let's say people imagine in spirituality, they say like God is some form of energy. Or let's say, if I tell you fire, what you would imagine? You would imagine this. If I tell you candle flame, what you would imagine? You will imagine kind of this kind of flame, right? Like this kind of yellowish flame. So similarly, I'm just referring your restlessness to this tiny dot. This dot, that's pretty big, but I hope you get my point. Let's say this. Sorry, this is your restlessness. So I have described restlessness as, I have pointed, or rather represented your restlessness, which is inherent in you, as a uh, dot, as a point. Okay. So once you uh, listen to your restlessness, and your restlessness feels okay, this thing might give me the pleasure, and hence the desire for that thing is implanted. And from desire, once the desire has been implanted, there will be creation of dent, and along with the dent would be created the along with the dent, obviously an agent would also be created. I hope you haven't forgotten our poor agent who was suffering, right? Because we haven't talked about him from the last, few videos, but today we will talk about him. So basically, this dent is me or ego, right? So if I was in examination hall, what I would be telling currently, what am I am the one who is moving pencil box. So I'm in that dent, so that is me, that is my ego. So I hope the concept of ego is clear to you. We will also discuss a bit more in the later halves. I have written here. Okay, so let's not just waste time. So, anyways, so this desire is implanted, and the creation of ego. So, or dent basically. So, how is this dent actually created, and how does this dent actually work? Like, we know that the dents we fulfill by actions, and they, decrease and all sort of stuff. But how do they actually function? Like, is there any special thing? No, it's basically the same thing which I've told you, but I've represented in, bit. I hope you have might have been have the opportunity to study computer science, or maybe if not, it's just a basic if conditional statement, right? So basically, I have named it as dent programming. So there's a kind of encoded program inside your mind that, okay, if desire is fulfilled, desire equal to fulfill. This is basically in Java, we write it like this. I've just, for fancy purposes and, attractive purposes, I've written like this. It's just some kind of code is implanted in your mind or dent. So that's how it works. Desire equal to fulfill, send impulse to brain, release hormones, control muscle movement, smile, happy, pleasure, right? So let's say your partner came and kissed you, right? And let me just go to the very deep example at once. Your partner came and kissed you, and you had this so-called pleasurable moment, and after that you ate with her, and after that did all kinds of things which you do, which you think give you pleasure. So you do those. So basically the desire is fulfilled. Let's say you had the desire of longingness, that let my partner care for me, let my partner kiss me, let my partner stay with me. So this is your desire. So if it is fulfilled, then it will send really impulse to the brain that okay, this is fulfilled. And now what the den will do, as you know, the den would obviously give thoughts and release hormones, control muscle movement, smile, happy, pleasure. Let's say your partner kissed you and you are like, yeah, very happy internally. So it's like the dent would control the, you know, the dent would release hormones to make you smile, that okay, I'm happy. That kind of, I know you, it's no very poorly taught, uh, but you know, I hope you have heard that term dopamine. uh, Basically, they, in a lot of those motivational videos, they use this term dopamine without actually, you know, researching about it. They think they are just using a scientific term and they are very, you know, intelligent, right? So it's not only dopamine, right? So it's like dopamine is there, then oxytocin, and then serotonin. These all are also, you know, happiness, like produce a sense of happiness, you know, pleasure, smile. Like ultimately, you are smiling when, let's say I am smiling now, right? So if I'm smiling now, how am I smiling? My muscle is being controlled, right? Obviously I cannot smile without moving my this muscle up. So who does that? The dent. That's what the dent does. else if Else if desire not equal to complete, send brain, again it will again send the brain the hormones. That hormone means basically, I hope you get my point, right? It will again send brain signals that okay, I am not fulfilled. So it will give the brain orders and tell, oh, okay, I am sad. Let's say your partner. Same example. Let's say your partner came and told, no, no, I will not stay with you. You are not worth it. You don't have any money. You do not look good. I found someone else. I know all of the people who are in a relationship will find it very harsh, but please just stay and listen to it, because unless and until you expose yourself to the truth, you would not be able to fix yourself, right? So let me just get to that example. Okay, so send brain orders and sadness, craving more, tell I'm in pain and suffering. Let's say you just had a breakup and you are crying, you are listening to those, you know, breakup songs, and you know, every girl is a cheater, and oh, all those things, right? So and so again the hormones are released like cortisol, and you know, if you are in pain, that adrenaline is released. So that, like basically you feel currently a bit energetic. Then after that, that again you will feel, basically it will also order the body to feel depressed. It would ask, it would, you know, order the body, because I hope you remember the previous video we talked about that the brain takes orders from the mind, and the brain controls all the involuntary and voluntary actions. So if the mind tells that okay, feel numb, then the brain has no choice but to feel numb. So that is how the dent actually is programmed. So basically, there's an encoded programming in you that okay, if the desire is fulfilled, show happy expression, show pleasure, release pleasurable hormones. That okay, uh, I've got pleasure. And if the desire is incomplete, or let's say it's not fulfilled, then it will again send the brain the same orders, might be of sadness, craving for more, that uh, if I could just get that much bit more, then I would be happy. If I got 99 out of 100, or let's say I got some any marks, let's say I got x out of 100, then if could have gotten x plus 5, I would have been happy. If I got 100, then I would be happy. That is your desire, that is just programmed. The agent, now the talk of the agent. The agent was given the order to bring that object of class that will satisfy this loop. No choice on his part, just blind action. Right. So, hmm. Yeah. So now the agent who has been created, the agent was created simultaneously with the dent. And what the agent has been told, the agent has also been programmed. Now mark my words, the agent has also been programmed that you bring that thing that fills me with this water, and that fills me with this water, and I get satisfied. So basically, you bring something, some variable of this desire, so that this condition is satisfied, right? So I know if you have studied computer science, it would be more easier for you to understand, but those who have not studied, it's also not very hard. You just imagine you are just programming, you are just someone has just programmed into you, and that agent within the dent, the agent which is created along with the dent, has just no choice, because all he has to do is to listen to the dent. Its job was to fill the dent, right? It was created, it was programmed. The agent is programmed to fill the dent. So that's why the agent just does blind action, no thinking or no stuff on his part. So then actually, who is this hopeless? If agent, see, agent just has to, agent is just like a machine. It's just does tasks programmed to it. So who was the one that grew hopeless, that desperate, that no, nothing is working? Who was the one? We'll come to it. Okay, so comparing with the company story, yeah. So let me tell you a story, like not much of a story, but rather, let's say, let me just write it down. Yeah. So let's say, here is the reception. Okay. Here is a receptionist of a company. Let's say any company. Let's say whatever XYZ company, whichever company you know of. Let's say this is the receptionist of this company. So a file has been delivered from external sources. File has been delivered from somewhere external to the receptionist, or let's say some order has been let's say some order has been given. Let's say, give me money, give me money. This order has been given to the of course not, it's not like a life and death situation, like Robert's trying to shoot her and all. Just someone came and told me that I need a check for this, for company purpose. Please give me the money. It happens in businesses. However, the receptionist cannot directly give the money, right? First, receptionist has to ask from an employee that, okay, is this true? And the employee will further, let's say this is the employee will then ask his manager that, okay, sir, should he be given the money? And finally, the manager would ask his boss that, sir, this person has come. The final boss, okay, that this person is come, so should he be given the money? Now, if the boss rejects that, no, no, you will not give, I don't want to give that person money, the receptionist has no choice. The receptionist has to listen, and the receptionist will tell the, sorry, I have not got permission from the higher authorities, so I cannot give you the cash. That's it. However, if the boss tells that no, it's fine, give him or her the money, give the external source the money. So now also the receptionist has no choice and has to give, because so it's up to the boss to decide who. So it's the boss who decides that who will get the money or not, right? So if the boss decides no, that person will not get the money, then the person will not get the money. The receptionist and all this, they cannot act against the boss's order, right? And if the boss tells that, okay, give the money, then also they have to act accordingly. They can't uh, go against the boss, right? So I hope this example is clear. A pretty small example, but will be helpful in us, for us to understand more, right? So this we did input, brain, mind. Okay, so this is again comparing it with that external source. This is external stimuli. Okay, so this external stimuli acts, and of course there is an input, and that input is transferred to your brains via what I mentioned, via sense organs, right? So this is sent, input is by sense organs, and the electric impulse is sent to the brain. The brain goes to the mind, right? The mind, and the mind, once the thought has entered, will trigger a particular dent. And what the dents would do, the dents would firstly affect the body. I've written here body, that okay, release hormones and stuff. And another thing, it would and then it would give thoughts, and it would use the ego to, this is the final boss, restlessness. Because ultimately whatever we do are because of this ultimate restlessness. So whatever a company is running, it's because of the boss, or let's say the main chairperson or executive officer who is behind it, right? So this is the main boss. So and the control resides with the main boss, yes or no. Let's say external stimuli is acted, input has been done, brain has been activated, mind has been also activated, dent is activated, dent has released bodily hormones, and thoughts have also been poured. These thoughts I'm referring to as ego. That, let's say, okay, external stimuli, I am a victim of this external stimuli. This is the ego saying. However, this is the final boss, the main character, you can say, restlessness. So if the restlessness tells yes, okay, external stimuli is fine, then the action will happen. And if the restlessness says that no, I will not let the action happen, then the action would not happen, and the loop will get terminated. So again, it's just the same thing as the company story. The company story, what happened was the receptionist was just asked. It did not have the power to directly give money. It first had to take approval. So who gives the approval finally? Ultimately, the boss. In here, the boss is restlessness. So if restlessness tells that okay, fine, you listen to the external stimuli, then you would do the action. You would give your dance. You would be a subject to your dance. However, if the restlessness tells that no way I am going to choose this, then of course you cannot do action because your restlessness does not want, right? So mm, now if I tell you that get up and jump 20 times, right? Restlessness would be a bit, shocked that why should I just jump 20 times? It's like we are so minutes into this video, we are watching it with, immersion. Why are we going to just jump? You're again. So your restlessness does not feel that there can be peace here. There can be peace by jumping 10 times or 20 times. That's why I will not jump. Hence, the action of jumping is not being taken. Okay. So let's come to this topic: dent and agent. So of course, with this dent, I know you could see the restrictions I have written here. I will explain, of course. Uh, so with this dent, an agent is created, and collectively we call this ego. This overall collection we call as ego. So with this den, both are programmed. This this agent is also programmed, and this dent is also programmed. As I mentioned, dent programming I wrote down, right. An agent I just give that do whatever dents follow. That is the do whatever dent tells. That is the programming of the agent. Basically, the combined ego. So let's say you are the ego. So what you tell, I want happiness. I want happiness. I'm hoping for that. I'm excited. I'm perfect, fulfilled. I am someone's partner. I am someone's child. This is identity. This is again ego. That who am I? I'm Spider Man. Okay, so it's something like that. Okay, who am I? I'm someone's partner. Who am I? I am someone's child. I'm jealous. So you describe your qualities that I am this. So basically, if I break it to the fundamental, what you tell? I am this dent. I am this agent. It's collectively you say I am this ego. I want money. What do you say? I am subject, or rather I am money. It's kind of like that. Same thing. It's just like these are a bit unobvious, and this is like identity. If you say that okay, I'm this person's son, if I'm this person's, let's say, husband, or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever be it, your partner, then it creates a sense of identity that okay, I can say this. But if you directly say I want happiness, then you won't realize that you're just that dent, right? You think you are the dent. So that's why you tell I want happiness. I'm hoping for that. I am excited. All those emotions which I mentioned. I am perfect. I'm fulfilled. That okay, I'm feeling very fulfilled, and nothing can break me. Okay, sorry, I think I just called out. Okay, I'm someone's child. Okay, I am jealous. I'm sad or depressed. I'm hopeless. All these are emotions of the dent. I hope you remember exactly how each and every emotion came about. That a continuous flow of water and out, right? So basically, all these are dents. This is not the real you. You think you are the dent, and hence there are problems. That's the only reason that you are sad, because you think that you are the dents, even though you are not. I'm sad, depressed. You are not sad, depressed, on your own. It's just that dent you say that I have not got satisfaction from that dent, and hence, if you have not got satisfaction, then this loop runs, and hence you feel this program runs, and hence you feel that okay, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I should listen to breakup songs, I should cry. This is basically it. I'm hopeless. Again, the same thing. So this is your dent and restriction, right? So now the dent and agent. So now we'll talk about a very wanted topic, restriction. What exactly restriction are? Like restrictions are okay. I understand that we can't do everything in all places. Like if I cannot just you know uh, go to the school and take out my phone in the front of the class and I just start scrolling in front of the teacher. That I cannot do. Let's say I just cannot. I cannot masturbate in front of my parents. Like what will they say? Now I know it's very extreme example, but please don't make fun out of it, because it's really really important to understand what restrictions actually is. I'm directly taking the again the extreme examples so that if everything petty seems to be covered. Agent, so what happens in restriction is that agent had went to search of water, and a deal or business contract has been signed that okay, do this, I will give you constant water. So basically the agent was created to what, to fulfill the terms with water. So it went out to the market to find that okay, where can I get water, where can I get water. It's similar to like cricket sponsorship. Let's say you are playing cricket, and let's say some company comes that okay, I will give you money if you promote me. That's what happens in business deals. So that kind of deal is signed by your agent and that dent, and that source of water. That it might be, let's say, your partner, it might be the tasty food. That okay, if I get this tasty food, you will get uh, constant happiness in the sense constant water. So agent went on a search of water, and a contract has been signed that do this, I will give you water. Example: parents, society, school. School one I mentioned. Parents one also I mentioned. Now also let's say your parents are there. Like let's say you can't. You like you might steal, but you can't directly, so guilt freely you cannot steal from your parents, especially if you are not conditioned to do so. You would of course feel that what will my parents think of me if I talk bad with my parents. Let's say you don't live up to the societal expectations. You don't live up to the, let's say, that girls should marry. Then you have this, then that what will society say, what would society say if they hear that I am not marrying. So this is just restriction, right? Few people, they marry out of this restriction, out of or not out of even love. Love is obviously fake. That kind of love which I mentioned in the previous video, but they marry that okay, I have to marry because society says so. If I don't marry, then society will shame me. Like society will neglect me. That kind of thing. So what happens is that this parent, you have signed a deal with the dent of the parents that okay, until and unless you don't do this, until and unless you study, until and unless you take care of us, I will fulfill your dent of parents. That's basically what happens. I know it's horrible, but exactly this is what happens. Thinking parents as dents is really really tough. And I also again had to think in a very tough manner, because these are all attachments at the end of the day, right? As I mentioned, the debt just becomes another attachment. It just business contract, just what can I say, in our language it's called dena pauna, right? Just transaction, just game of transactions. You give, I take, you give, I take. Basically that thing, deal or business. So they say I will give you constant water. Another example I have. Let's just use another empty space here. Okay, so let's say there's a boyfriend. Uh, Again, relationship example. I hope you have not grown bored of my relationship examples, and hopefully I am not offending any couples here, right? So let's say the boyfriend, on the boyfriend, on or let's say the any boy, the restrictions are generally less. Why? As I mentioned before. Okay, historically, I mentioned in the previous video. Sorry, previous to previous video. So you can go out and check that, or rather you can just listen for here also. So in boys generally the restrictions are less, and in girls the restrictions are more. So let's say the boy's parents dent is this small, and let's say his girlfriend or relationship dent is this big, and this girlfriend who has been put much restrictions upon, her relationship dent is not as large as this boy's, but it's suddenly like a bit large. So let's say this. However, her parents dent are very large, because why? Because they provide her that like why? Because she's under restriction, right? So if she's under restriction, then of course the dent of parents would be large, right? So if now, let's say, from both of their houses, parents call and say, when are you coming back home? Let's say the boyfriend's parents call and tell him, when are you coming home? The boyfriend tells, I am coming home in a few minutes, don't just bother me. Let's say in your home they say, no, I need you now. You are currently with your girlfriend and your parents' dent is small, so you realize that staying with your girlfriend will give you more pleasure. That's why you stay with your girlfriend, and you would reject this. Or might be that okay, after spending some time, you again spend some time in this vibe because again you are restless. However, this girlfriend, the girl, in the case of the girlfriend, the relationship dent is smaller. So and the parents dent is larger. So if the call comes from her house that okay, come, you need to come now. So the girl will reject. The girl will reject this dent and go with this, or rather the same thing might be spend a very little time and then quickly head back home. Because why? Because the restrictions are basically, the dents are larger. So that's basically what I mean by what I mean by restriction. So restrictions are just a deal or contract that has been signed that okay, if you do this, if you follow my instructions, if you respect elders, then you would be treated good. If you are kind, you would be treated good in your society, right? This kind of things, this is restrictions. Okay, so right, so restrictions we discussed. Depending of your dents, we discussed this before, but again, just a short overview. When you get pleasure and the dent is filled, however, dent was fulfilled, but restlessness doesn't decrease. Desire increases. Perhaps a bit more can decrease it. This is greed. Yeah. So ultimately, what happens is that let's say you perform a particular dent action of the dent, and you fulfill your desire, and that loop has been run. That okay, desire equal to fulfill, so release hormones and stuff. So that thing is done. However, after that whole, what can I say, stage is over, the phase is over, again you feel restlessness. It was if temporarily you feel that okay, my dent, my pleasure I got fulfilled, it's fine. But why am I again wanting more? Why am I restless again? And you will think that okay, a little bit more. Let's say you eat a ice cream. Let's say you eat one bite. Their intention was that okay, if I eat one bite, then I would be satisfied. Or let's say if I eat one biscuit, I would be satisfied. Or let's say you ate one biscuit, that happiness thing ran in your mind, and the belief increased. And again, okay, let me take another one. This one will surely, fix me. You eat it. Again, nothing happens. Restlessness remains. You will tell, third time the charm. So let me eat it once again. Right? Perhaps a bit more can decrease it. This is greed. Though I might not be feeling that okay, what greed is there in eating biscuit? But this is clearly, this is greed. Now the action is small, that's why it's looking petty, but you can do anything. Suppose you find a new target and the dent is implanted and the agent is created. Okay. So I've just visually represented that okay. You find a target, you feed on it, and the agent has been created, and the what the agent does is to fill the water. So let's say the ego orders that okay, perform these tasks, or let's say the ego tells the thoughts, gives the thoughts, and the restlessness thinks under the manipulation of the ego manipulates so beautifully that the restlessness thinks okay, this thing would give me pleasure, and hence ego orders. So and if you do the ego's action or whatever if you follow the action, then your den would be satisfied, the den would be filled with water, fine, the water would be secure in the temporary sense, but let's say the water is there, no harm. Okay, so the water you have got, den you have got, ego you have been satisfied that okay, you listen to me and I have released the hormones, my job is done, so I have just completed my part of the r- role. However, the boss restlessness is not satisfied because who got the pleasure? Not the restlessness. It was the dent, it was the water, it was the ego, it was you. Not, it was your dent overall that got the pleasure or fulfillment. But the main job was to fix the boss or the restlessness. Hence, the resistance doesn't decrease. So same loop. So cycle 2, maybe a bit more. That okay, that same thing I mentioned. Okay, maybe a bit more will help. So you do again, then repeat whole procedure for another time, third cycle, again another time, fourth cycle, up to let's say 10 cycles. After 10 cycles, you do a bit of twist. Like let's say first time, let's say you ate a tasty food. However, you will tell, okay, I didn't. Let's say you eat a sweet. Very good example just came to me. Let's say you eat a sweet. Let's say you are in a event, you just eat a sweet. You are not satisfied. You would feel that okay, first let me eat the main course, then I will eat the sweet. Okay, then you would be like, okay, I ate the main course, I ate the sweet, but I am not feeling satisfied. So let me first eat the main course, then I would wash my hands, and then I would eat the sweet. You are basically trying to twist. You are trying to find something new in it by the same thing which have proved to be for like false. That's what you do. You are just trying to twist it, that okay, if I might have done this kind of thing in that kind of way, in that kind of manner, if I would have kissed my partner in that time, if I could have said proposed her in that time, then maybe I would be happy now, instead of this thing, instead of being suffering. So in the end, you try out everything, but the restlessness remains. It holds on to some dents, hoping and believing on them to complete it. With each repetition, it attaches some hope, which is ultimately destroyed. So after each and every cycle, the restlessness remains just constant, or maybe just desire increases. The restlessness is just ever, unsteady. That why am I not just getting? I'm trying everything, but still, you know that the dents would not help. It's the dent is just false. Still, your life revolves around dent. You cannot give up your life. The dent feels that I cannot give up my life. That's why you are still stuck. You are still hoping that okay, this thing will complete me. This partner, maybe not that partner, maybe not this, maybe that girl I am seeing in front of me is the one which will complete me. And with each repetition, of course, it attaches some hope itself. Again, desire increase, but ultimately, it is just destroyed, useless. Right. So I've just written restlessness, no effect, no peace. Peace is not received. The main goal was peace. Peace was the main goal was avoided. Ego or dense, fulfilled. Yeah, I agree. No doubt. Fulfilled. Water has been poured in. And fulfilled why? Because it's programmed. Right. It is true. Not lying. Not lying. Just true that yeah, ego and dent is getting pleasure, but restlessness is decreasing. But restlessness is not decreasing. It is not getting peace. Pleasure is there 100%. But what about peace? So let's say you are masturbating. So of course you are masturbating. Then why should I just think because I'm masturbating, I'm getting pleasure. For temporarily, maybe I feel happy, maybe a bit lethargic, but still pleasure is there. Why should I just leave it? If I why can't I just do masturbation whole day? You can just try, or you can just try out any activity which just satisfies your dance. You would feel like you would be suffocated. But anyways, coming back to the point, if why should I? mm, why should I not masturbate if it's giving me pleasure? Don't lie that no, masturbation does not give me pleasure. No, it gives you pleasure, it gives you thoughts, but ultimately, what happens is the pleasure is there, not peace. And the main goal was what of the boss to get this peace. Hence, the agent does not get hopeless. It is the restlessness within you. But even after getting hopeless, it still holds on to certain things, as there are infinite options. So it thinks that maybe that is the right options. Oh, poor thing. See this restlessness. Want to call it a very poor thing. It itself orders, it itself is, financially, or you can say emotionally struggling. That okay, I'm just ever restless. it's this is the condition of restlessness. And and this dense and these egos, they manipulate this restlessness, that okay, do this, you will get pleasure, I'm promising you, I will give you this water, just do it. This kind of they kind of throw this kind of logics. And the restlessness, poor thing, it is ever desperate to add new things, that okay, that this might give peace. And it accepts that okay, fine, if you're selling, if you're manipulating me so much, then I think it's the truth. So you accept it and you follow the action, only to realize that you have been cheated again. I'm pleasure I'm getting. I'm feeling, my partner just kissed me. I should be happy, but why I'm just restless? Just why is that I want my partner to kiss me more? Why do I want my partner to cuddle with me? Am I not just peace just once when my partner kissed me? Why is it not? Why is it not like that? Pleasure is there, of course. Pleasure is there because again hormones released. So hormones are the things that give you pleasure. So, but why am I again restless? So I think it's just done. Why am I struggling? Why am I restless? So the agent does not get hopeless. The agent is like a machine, a robot. It's just programmed to do so. It is the restlessness within you that does. The restlessness within you gets hopeless that what on earth? I'm doing this. I'm getting pleasure, no doubt. No, I'm not gonna lie. But peace, where is it? The Danes and egos, they tell that okay, I will give you peace. I will give you peace. Okay, this is like a rich man says, okay, I will give you money. I will give you money. But ultimately, they don't give. Poor thing, poor restlessness. I know by this time you must also be feeling a bit pity for your own restlessness. That these two things, although this is the boss, these two things just attack together. Sorry, this ego and dent, they attacked restlessness so strongly. It just cannot do anything. And why it still holds? Because again, it thinks that okay, this cycle may be something twist, or if I can do something different, then it would work. As I mentioned, there are infinite options. I hope you remember that example of total 8 billion people, 4 billion girls, let's say 2 billion, let's say appropriate for dating and stuff. So let's say 2 billion girls you have. So let's say first girl gone, second girl gone, third gone as well, fourth gone, fifth gone, let's say 10 girls gone. By the time you are not hopeless yet, if some 11th person comes and tells you that I'm not like those girls and I'm, love you, I am caring, I'm, care for my partner, and I will take care of you, and she does something that satisfies this, you would just forget all these previous experiences and will just go and say, okay, I love you, please don't leave me, and that is the beginning of possessiveness. So I hope, how do we get this possessiveness feeling? So there are infinite options. So you feel that okay, if not this book, then this book. If not this short, then the next short. If not this video, then this video. If not this type of thing, then this type of thing would satisfy me. Infinite options, infinite food, infinite explicit content, infinite people. It's just it that there are infinite number of things. That's why if it had really tried out each and every single thing, then it would not be feeling that okay, their hope is there. It is feeling that if I add some twist, if I do something a bit different, then there are infinite options. Maybe these 10 girls are bad, maybe this 11th girl is also bad, but still one girl is there out of that total 2 billion girls that who would actually care for me. That is the play of restlessness. That's how it, overcome manages your mind. However, of course, there would be some beliefs which you just have given up. Example, childhood toys can vary. Okay. So certainly, I hope that you have realized this point that in your child, you, let's say you played with some toys. As a boy, after all this, conditioning and stuff, do you still like to play with toys? Like, does toys satisfy you? Do you still keep toys at all? Personally speaking, for me, my toys are long lost, and my brother's toys are also again long lost. Right. So why? Because we don't get any more pleasure. We get pleasure if I just place some toy. If I just place it, I would get pleasure. I would be happy, but I would not get peace. So I've just rejected it. I've tried out thousands of toys as a child, and by the time I have now 17 years old. So 17 years of experience I've had with toys. It's just trash. Maybe 10 years it was fine. 11 years, 12 years, but after that I found something better. Mobile phones, food, explicit consent, sorry, content. uh, but for some people this might vary. Let's say childhood toys. I have seen some girls who, they have that teddy bears kind of thing. They keep it at their home, that this teddy bear is very emotional to me, they stay very close. So again, why is that they think that that teddy bear is something comfortable? Why? Because their other dents are just small. So they, let's say they enjoy their time with the teddy bear. So that's why their dent has become very deep, or let's say have enlarged. For me personally, this dent has been finished. Like finished means does not mean if it comes, if I do this I will not get pleasure. I will get pleasure, but my restlessness consciously knows that this is not the answer. Whatever might be, this is not the answer. However, there are so many things, as I mentioned, infinite choices. If not this, then that, then that. The restlessness just cannot realize that any action in this material world is not satisfaction. It will not provide the real satisfaction, the real thing which it is looking for. Do you know why it won't find? Because to feel it, it has to be itself. And what is it? Restlessness. And if restlessness has to, and if calmness has to prevail, then restlessness have to finish off. How can you be calm and restless at the same time? How can you be at peace and restless at the same time? You cannot. So the one who wants restlessness has to be destroyed. It's very similar to Harry Potter. Harry wanted to destroy Voldemort. For that, he had to kill himself. Or like Voldemort had to kill Harry first. So this is the same thing. I know very it's sounding very magical, but we will just decode the entire magic in the next video because today we have come to the end of this content, but still it's not yet finished. Let me just continue. That restlessness which was present, itself has to disappear. And it is the one who wants pleasure. Right? Restlessness is the one who wants completeness. It is the one who wants peace. And how can peace come? By destroying this restlessness. And once that has been destroyed, the restlessness cannot feel anything. So, if one does not feel, how does one understand? So, I hope I have emphasized this point. Some childhood beliefs, how can I emphasize? Mm, Another good example is that some people have have this habit of thumb sucking as a child also, and they keep it doing until they are teenagers. Or I've seen some people who have done do this in their teens also. Okay, so which is again they're trying to do. They're just trying to fulfill the dance. So, uh, but for us, for many of us, thumb sucking is no longer a particular peaceful option because we know that no matter how much time, how much way we suck the thumb, nothing would happen because at the end, what maximum will be that okay, thumb entered my mind, fine. Maybe I don't know how I even got pleasure with that. Your if you are not someone special, if you are not addicted to thumb sucking now, then I hope this would be relatable for you. Or let's say all those fun we had in the child that okay, disturb a particular teacher, right? So we all had this desire to disturb a particular teacher so that some free period and stuff. Might be of course, if you are still trying to disturb a teacher, you will feel satisfied because the dent of disturbing would be fulfilled, that okay, enjoyment would be fulfilled, comedy, friends would appreciate you, so of course you will get pleasure. However, restlessness would not satisfy. The restlessness would not be able to be at peace with itself, because why? It has to finish itself. It has given up the hope that okay, punishing teachers can be pleasant, like punishing teachers can give, sorry, tricking teachers can give peace to me. So the restlessness has come over, has gone over that thing. Okay, so basically it has completely forgotten, or rather it has completely rejected that. Let's say you do something. Let's say you study, and in assuming that you do not enjoy studying as a particular subject, then why is that? Because the dent is small, right? So if the dent is small, your resistance knows that instead of this dent, if I do this, let's say, uh, talking with friends, enjoying with friends, dent is this large, then this if these two both simultaneously enter thoughts, then which one has the more probability of going? Which one, if you were in this place, which one would you choose to go? Of course, not this. You might externally say that, okay, no, I have to study, but your mind will continuously crave for going into this enjoyment then. Why? Because the hope attached is very much high. So I hope uh, I've made my point clear. Again, I just can't stop, but again, see, just this time is making a fool of us. So I hope you can understand how poor our restlessness is. It is just the one suffering. It just has to endure so many things. What can it do, right? It is being, machine. It's like a machine. It's like a human being being made fight with two, advanced AIs. So, of course, It's tough. That's why I have written here, oh poor thing. So that's it for today's video, I guess. I hope you learned a lot. I explained all these examples, and you can also self-observe them. That if you, let's say, you expected a type of food and you did not get it, I'm angry then. Why? Dent, thought went, action, yes. Desire, increase, belief, increase. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of that person. You can be jealous of me also. That how to know this and I don't know. Please just tell me the final solution. That is again restlessness. I'm not going to leave you. You are a restlessness. You are not someone's child. You are not someone's partner. You are not some school student. You are the restlessness. The core. Your restlessness, right? So, thanks for watching. I, of course, hope that you have learned a lot. In the next video, we will further continue this discussion because we had to stop. We will discuss in much more detail, and finally, we would talk about immersion and the right action. We haven't still exactly answered how to live right, actually, like how to live life, because what we are talking about, we are just talking about models. And from the models, we have realized that just don't follow the dense because they're useless. We have not yet decided that which ones, like what to follow at all, what is right and what is wrong. Who told that masturbation is wrong? Why can't it? If it is giving me pleasure, why can't I do? Why should I stop? Again, this one I example I gave there, but much more detailed examples or much more detailed analysis we will get in the next video, hopefully. Or if the next video is not of 1 hour, then it would take two another videos. But I hope up to this is clear. I really enjoyed a lot while making this session. So, of course, if you want to comment anything or if you want to post your self observations, if you have any doubts or queries, you can either email me or you can just type in the comments and I'll see. So, see you later. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.